It was a story that had been incubating for like the better part of 20 years. And I tried to find different ways to tell it. I'd fictionalized it. I'd done like in high school, I'd done a lot of things. And it's from that period of my life. So I've had a lot of time to get very familiar with the story. So on the page, it looked like a subheading, like a title and a subheading, and then 10 items. So 10 fragments of memory that all tied together to try and tell one portion of the story. That fragmented or alternate form gave me the structure ultimately. I knew what a lot of the pieces were. I knew what a lot of the images were. I knew what a lot of the material was and how it connected. But because it was a sort of a fragmented and kind of traumatic memory, I think that actually speaks to the way we recall those things. And so it became a way of organizing something that was both like linear and also so fragmented. Formal constraint, temporal constraint, all of those things I think make a lot of sense. I mean, I'm writing fiction right now and short fiction, and I find I want to put like the entire world and everything into it. And it's a real process of refining and refining and refining. I was just reading a George Saunders interview, and he was just reminding everybody like edit like hell, like the quality of the editing such that it is the most crystalline and tight and concise yet still beautiful writing. A lot of what I have learned about and looked for is where there's a global resonance. I think that is something that I have learned to have an eye for as a reader, where your story is situated in the larger context. And that doesn't necessarily mean to be a direct reference to that, but in the ways that such a local story can have such universal resonance. I think that is something I have learned to look for beyond just like very good craft and beautiful writing. My submission muscles are not very strong because it's hard. It's really hard to do, and rejection sucks. And every writer I've ever heard has been rejected myriad times and admits that it sucks. It always is painful. And but one of the things I'm contending with is like this muscle will not get stronger unless I keep doing it. I have found submission deadlines wonderfully helpful to get my butt in my chair and to do all of those revisions. We all, capital letters, all edit like hell, essentially. And it's just a chance each time to refine and refine and refine something. Like again, that essay had many different iterations over, long periods of times of also being like totally drawered. And then the final push to refine and refine and refine the prose was really helpful to me. And I think like no matter where our writing ends up, each time we do that strenuous exercise sometimes, and often like quite joyful exercise, like especially when it starts to click and you actually feel it, it's worth all of those miles that we've run, but like they are miles sometimes. And so to that end, for those people who find deadlines helpful, like why not? It's a wonderful award and it's a wonderful legacy to be honoring, this one in particular. And for me anyway, each time I have a deadline, that makes me pony up. The chance to keep working on your writing is such a gift, whatever the outcome.